I'm sure you can hear Abraxas, the rooster, in the background. For some reason, he's making a lot of noise today. But I get a lot of comments on my videos about alcoholism and addiction and recovery. And one thing I notice a lot, or one comment I notice a lot, is about brain fog. I get this frequently, at least once a week, where people say, how do I get rid of brain fog post-sobriety? Once I got sober, I noticed that I have residual brain fog. So guys, it's my personal opinion that some degree of brain fog once you get sober is almost inevitable. Take it easy, depending on how much you drank. But after the 3 to 6 month mark, it's my personal opinion that you've reached homeostasis. You've reached a state of balance within your body because you haven't been putting alcohol in it. You're free from that substance. Your body, it's amazing how quickly it can heal when you stop putting the poison in, right? So I think a lot of people's brain fog is actually stemming from their lifestyle. That could be related to their rest cycles. They may not be getting quality rest. Even though you get 8 hours of sleep, you guys, that doesn't mean you're resting well. You catch my drift? And a good chunk of brain fog, I know this myself because I've experienced this, and I can replicate this. Abraxas, enough. I can replicate this experiment. If I go off my diet and I eat some junk food, even like one bad thing in excess, the following day I wake up and my brain is cloudy. I have brain fog. My verbal fluency isn't dialed in. It's not on point, right? So the body requires an adequate flow of 90 essential nutrients. Those are composed of vitamins, amino acids, essential fatty acids, and minerals. You want to be eating a very mineral-dense, nutrient-dense diet that has, or that can ensure an adequate flow of the 90 essential nutrients, right? So again, I had some brain fog when I got sober. I had derealization, depersonalization, depression. I had a litany of symptoms. They were horrific. But due to the fact that I stayed clean, I stayed sober, right? That eventually lifted. If you're having brain fog a year after you got sober, there's a good chance that brain fog is not from like you getting sober, right? It's most likely from an underlying lack of proper nourishment, in all honesty. And or, like I said earlier, a lack of real, deep, regenerative rest, right? There's a myriad of ways here in this crazy culture that our rest is wrecked. Most people are not truly getting good quality sleep. Just because you slept, again, like I said earlier, for 8 hours, that does not mean that you're entering into the deep regenerative sleep cycles. So you've got to start approaching sleep in a non-ordinary fashion, and you've got to really do an inventory on your rest cycles. Are you truly getting the rest that your body needs? Are you waking up tired? Are you waking up achy? Are you waking up brain fogged, right? There's a myriad of ways to improve your sleep. I have many videos in my video archive here on the Sacred Serpent YouTube channel that you can check out. Just go into the search bar and type in sleep. I don't want to do some huge rant about blocking blue light, but I will, however, say that the #1 assault on our rest as a species is an inundation of artificial light that carries with it an inordinately large amount of blue light. Blue light is part of the color spectrum, and when blue light from artificial devices goes into your photoreceptors, it essentially tells your brain that the sun's still up. So you don't secrete and produce adequate amounts of endogenous melatonin. Your brain will produce melatonin, its own supplies of melatonin, in the right conditions if you're not inundated with blue light. I'm not talking about supplemental melatonin. In fact, I've said this before and I'm going to throw this in here. I personally believe that supplemental melatonin is one of the most dangerous supplements being promoted. You see it being promoted on television. You see mainstream doctors on TVs, or on the TV, talking about the health benefits of melatonin. Guys, Your body is a miraculous machine. And when you treat it properly and when you avoid the toxicity and the insanity of this culture, your body produces, for instance, its own melatonin. So I have videos on blocking blue light, how to do it. If you're truly serious about getting good quality sleep, those are videos that you're going to absolutely want to watch. I need to make some updated ones, and I will. But for the time being, that's all I have to offer in the form of videos about blocking blue light. And you block blue light there's a myriad of different ways. Essentially, one of the easiest ways, you guys, is to change the light bulbs in your home. Get yourself incandescent light bulbs. They're not as efficient and they burn out quicker than LEDs, CFLs, etc., but they don't carry the same wavelengths of intense light that these newer lights do. You guys, I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. One of the number one assaults on our health, especially our brain health, is artificial lighting. And it's something that many people are not talking about. And it's crazy to think that light bulbs could actually be weapons against our health, but they alter our circadian rhythm, you guys. And they alter, like artificial light, it alters your hormones too, you guys, because it's throwing the wake and rise, or it's throwing your cycles off, excuse me. So we live in a world that's synthetic, and because of that, sometimes you have to take extreme measures to compensate for that. And most people aren't going to want to block blue light. And the easiest way to block blue light, aside from outfitting your home with better light bulbs, is to get a good quality pair of blue blocking sunglasses. I prefer the Uvex Skyper sunglasses. Links in the description box below. And when the sun goes down, you put those on and you do not take them off until it's time to go to bed, you guys. And the problem with this protocol is most people aren't going to want to walk around with a fucking face shield on, and I get it. But I mean, that's the unfortunate predicament that we're in. Lighting it's very convenient, but it's also an assault on our health and our well-being, guys. And there's no way around that. I can't remember who wrote the book. It's been years since I've read it. I think it's T.S. Wiley. She has a book called Lights Out, Sleep, Sugar, and Survival. I don't know if that's the exact author, but I know that's the name of the book. Lights Out, Sleep, Sugar, and Survival. Everybody should read that. That is a essential health primer for anyone who's really serious about uncovering the mysteries of health that have been veiled from us for far too long, right? But brain fog is usually related to poor nutrition. When you give your body what it needs, you guys, your mind, which is intimately connected to the body, it's the operating system of the body, starts to work efficiently. And an efficient mind produces a laser sharp focus. You have better verbal fluency. You have better memory recall. You see what I'm saying? It is very easy in this world, you guys, to think that you're getting proper nutrition when you're actually not. Again, it is very easy in this world, you guys, let me repeat this, to think that you're getting an adequate flow of nutrients when you are not. Most people's diet consists of primarily processed, refined carbohydrates. We are a carb-fueled country, right? And carbs aren't necessarily the problem. It's a lack of ability to say no to them. That's the problem. Human beings tend to do everything in excess. And guys, carbohydrates are why the country is so obese and sick, at least in my opinion. Excess carbohydrates, constantly having elevated blood sugar. It's insane. In fact, when the high carb, low fat diet began to gain traction years ago, that's when the obesity epidemic really started to skyrocket. Before the high carb, low fat diet was a culturally accepted norm, people were nowhere near as obese as they are now. Obesity is everywhere. And I'm not judging. Guys, I used to be close to 300 pounds. I shit you not. I still have some stretch marks on my stomach, etc. I used to be almost 300 fucking pounds. And weight loss is way easier than what they've led you to think. It just is. If you cut back on the processed refined foods, the processed refined carbohydrates, guys, you would be surprised how quickly you can lose weight. I lost a little, either under or over 100 pounds, it's starting to rain, in a year, simply by cutting back on processed foods and riding my bicycle for about 6 to 8 hours a day. And I get many people aren't going to want to do that, but at the time I wasn't doing like competitive cycling. I had a Redline monocog 29er. It's the name of a bicycle. And I just putzed around town on it, right? Just putzed around and the fat just melted off. You see, guys, when you eat excess carbohydrates and you constantly elevate your blood sugar, your cells also hold on to excess water, and like it just makes you look pudgy. It ruins your range of motion when you have excess fluid in your system because it's blocking your movement. When you drop excess water weight, you guys, you have more range of motion, you feel better, you feel more limber. And again, it's my personal opinion that a good portion of people's brain fog is directly linked to poor nutrition. Now, some people will say, well, how is that possible? Most people try to eat their best. Trying to eat your best doesn't mean that you're eating your best, guys. Trying in this world is simply not enough. It's just not. And I know that sounds kind of heavy and hardcore, but it's true. If you look at the consumption statistics of what people eat here in the United States, it's a large majority of processed, refined crap. Right? Processed, refined crap. And animal products get a huge blame for people's poor health, even though the majority of the country isn't eating 90% or more of their calories from animal products. Most people, and this is largely predicated upon money, most people eat foods that are cheaper. Because most people don't have a ton of money to buy the healthiest foods. And what has the system, what has the establishment made cheaper than anything else when it comes to food? Processed, refined carbohydrate crap, processed foods in general. Potato chips cooked in seed oils, and like there's excess sodium in all the processed foods. And excess sodium, especially when eaten in conjunction with excess carbohydrates, that's just going to cause more water weight to pack onto you like you'd never imagine, you guys. So I would suggest, if you have brain fog, that you do a very honest inventory about what you eat. For 1 week, journal everything that you eat, right? Journal it all. Be completely honest with yourself. Leave no stone unturned, or however the fuck that quote goes. Be honest with yourself and document everything that you eat. And then look at the end of the week, what portion of what you've consumed over that week is from processed, refined foods and or carbohydrates, both, essentially. Excuse me, right? So I'm not here to promote a specific diet to you. Everybody has different metabolic needs. Everybody's different. Everybody's genes do play a pretty big factor with nutrition. But I will say, you guys, that for me, what the hell is that noise? For me personally, I thrive on a diet primarily of meat for my macronutrients and fruit for like my polyphenols and my fiber, etc. I consume a Venom shake every day, and I get the majority of my calories currently from, or my macronutrients from, like high-fat beef, high-fat chicken like thighs with the skin on. I know that goes completely against my old dietary beliefs, etc. But life is about movement, and I had to make some changes, and I'm glad that I did. I'm not against the vegan diet. I used to be a vegan for a very long time. And I still believe that the vegan diet, if done properly, can be one of the greatest elimination diets. It's a great detox diet. I've seen it do wonders, but I've also seen carnivore diets do wonders, zero carb diets. Someone recently said on my channel that all the success stories from people on a carnivore diet are made up. Bullshit. I know a handful of people personally that went on a carnivore diet and got rid of health issues, serious health issues that they'd been suffering for over 20 years that doctors just couldn't seem to figure out, right? Things that the doctors just threw medication at. So don't try to get on my fucking channel and tell me that what I'm saying is made up when I'm being completely fucking honest with you. Don't try to tell me that all carnivore success stories are fucking made up, because it's not true. Again, I've seen my mother had a pretty decent range of health issues, and a carnivore diet in a matter of weeks started getting rid of her health issues. And my mother's she did carnivore for a year and she's still ketogenic. And all of her inflammation for the most part is gone. She can walk again. I mean, she could walk prior, but she would hobble. She had the worst hip pain, all sorts of issues. She tried a vegan diet. She did all sorts of elimination diets. The thing that worked for her was a carnivore diet. So don't try to tell me that it doesn't work. I'm not saying that it'll work for everyone, and I'm not saying that it's the best diet for someone to stay on for the rest of their life. But everybody's different. Everybody has different nutritional needs, right? But again, like if you're eating a large portion of your calories from crap, if you're eating all the time, like we don't need to be eating anywhere near as much as we think we do. I fast the majority of the day and I'm laser focused 99% of the time when I'm fasted. When I don't have a bunch of food in my system, my thoughts are moving like lasers. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Catch my drift? But if you're eating a good chunk of your calories from stuff that you know you shouldn't be eating, then you shouldn't be complaining or wondering why you have brain fog, right? Because bad foods are synonymous with brain fog, because you're starving your brain of vital nourishment. Every day that you waste eating crap, you guys, is a day lost. And that one day that's lost can ruin your health for the rest of your life. I'm telling you right now that you can dig a grave with your teeth, you guys. So I hope that this message finds you at the right time, and I hope that it can help inspire you to make positive change in your life in the right direction, right? Find what works for you. Find what works for you, right? I, at one point in time, fell for the cholesterol is bad, carbs are good thing, right? I fell for it. I lived it. And then I was humbled by something, and I changed my diet and I started to put the cholesterol back into my system. And I was like, wow, this is one of many things that my brain and my body was starving of. You do realize that myelin is largely composed, I can't remember the percentage, but it's composed largely of cholesterol, guys. If you eat excess cholesterol in conjunction with processed carbohydrates, that's when cholesterol gets bad. That's when cholesterol does damage. And I've gone over this in the past. I'm not going to do some huge rant about it, you guys. But cholesterol can be very dangerous if it's eaten in excess with the wrong foods. So there's a health puzzle here, right? The secrets of health have been veiled for far too long. It was done intentionally. The vampires in charge have created their bullshit reality. They've provided all of the nonsensical foods that kill people, elevate your risk of cancer, etc. Like, it's just wild, you guys. It's insane. It's truly insane when you can see it, but it's also very liberating, because once you see through the veil, you guys, you now no longer have to live under the jurisdiction of it. What is I can't remember the exact, is it Hosea 4:6, you guys? My people are perish for lack of knowledge, or my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge is the modus operandi here in the Matrix. That's what it is, guys. That's the modus operandi. There is so much information that's been hidden from you that we can consider it occult information. Occult just means hidden. You got to get away from this idea that occult means demonic. No, that's part of the agenda. Occult just means hidden. And there's a reason why certain pieces of information are hidden from you. It's because when you have access to that information, you now have a choice. You can keep doing the thing. Let me rephrase that. When you have access to knowledge, you guys, that's power. Because you can do something with that knowledge. You can change your life with that knowledge. So the system is basically a three-dimensional rendition of give them bread and circuses and they'll never revolt. That's what's going on here, you guys. People are entertained, fat, sick, and nearly dead, and that's just the way it is. I've accepted it. People are going to continue being the way that they are, right? If you want to abuse this body and act like everything's honky-dory while you degrade in lifetime, so be it. There's millions of people out there that are going to be in line with you. But if you want to change your life, I'm here to tell you that the tools are out there. You can do it, you guys. You can change your life. And it's amazing how fast the body can heal when you stop putting the poison in. You see, one thing I've learned over the years, you guys, is that healing is more about removing what's toxifying you than what you put into your body. Now, you have to put good quality foods, nourishment, supplements into your system, you guys. But if you're just eating a few apples, right, and then supplementing ginseng and a B vitamin, for instance, on top of a shit diet, that's not gonna do anything for you. It might act as a temporary, like very weak force field for a while, but the older you get, you guys, the lower your defenses get. And that's because you're eating shit. You've got to, as you age, develop strength and grow. We're supposed to grow younger as we age, believe it or not. Aging is part of the fall. It's part of the fall from grace. It's a part of the Kundalini falling asleep and leaving the promised land and descending down into the hell. The Cosidial Church, the Cossacks. That's a rant for a completely different video, but I'm here to tell you guys that the body can heal very quickly, but you've got to remove the things that are killing you. You can't just put stuff on top of a shit diet and think that it's going to buffer everything, right? No amount of vitamin C, whether a gram to 10 grams a day, is going to be able to constantly provide benefit from the onslaught of what you're putting into your system. Diet is a huge piece to the puzzle of health because your body uses what you put into your system to rebuild itself, to basically organically 3D print your entire biology. You're constantly in a state of regeneration. Your body's constantly rebuilding itself, you guys. But do you really think that the Eiffel Tower could be built from Legos? Do you really think, you guys, that the pyramids of Egypt could be made with marshmallows? Do you really think that the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco could be built from popsicle sticks? Please. Every structure has to be built with the right materials. Otherwise, that's kind of what defines it, whether it's a good structure or a bad structure, right? Three Little Piggies kind of action. Did you build your structure, your home, out of straw? Or did you make it out of bricks? Hey, piggy, piggy, piggy. I'm speaking in metaphor, I'm joking, but I think you guys catch my drift. You don't want to build your home from bad materials. This body is a gift from God. But it's really hard to feel that and to know it instinctively and intuitively. It's very difficult for the soul to feel present in the flesh when you're drowning that with fucking shit food from hell, you guys. There's a reason why a large majority of all the processed foods contain very similar additives, seed oils, TBHQ, etc. There's certain ingredients that the New World Order wants in our tissues. They want us digesting certain things because what does it do, you guys? Well, it dims the light of Sophia. It dims the spark within. And when that's dim, you guys, you're in a state of being powerless. So you want to eat in a way that makes you powerful, you guys. And what is that? Well, that's food that rebuilds you properly, that provides your brain with proper nourishment. Your brain is largely composed of fats. There's a reason or an agenda behind demonizing fat. When your brain, a large compositional building block of your brain is fucking organic fat, guys. Do you see where I'm going with this? This realm is a puzzle. The Gnostics knew this. The Gnostics knew that the material realm was a giant, basically a holographic, like a puzzle within a puzzle within a puzzle. Things do not work the way that they appear to work, if you catch my drift. I hope that makes sense. So, you need to eat in a way that also allows you to start being able to see through the illusions, right? And it's very difficult to do that when the brain is malnourished, the heart is malnourished. You see, the brain gets more credit than the heart. The heart is actually something, the secrets of the heart have been veiled here in this realm, you guys. The Egyptians knew the power of the heart. That's why they venerated it. The brain is still a very crucial component of the entire organic makeup of the human machine. But the heart does not get enough credit. The heart is more of a compass, and the brain is more of like a data computer, if you catch my drift. It's far more complicated than that. But the heart is very sacred. In my opinion, the heart is the seat of the soul, not the brain. The pineal gland gets a lot of credit for being the master computer of spirituality, etc. I'm not saying that the pineal isn't important, because it absolutely is, but the heart, you guys, is the first step. And that's a secret that's been veiled for hundreds and hundreds of years. You see, the people that run the show, you guys, the people that they have created this cultural mess, I like to call them the vampires in charge. They're master biologists, they're master chemists, they're master psychologists. They understand the secrets of the human body, and they understand the secrets of the absolute, and they use that occult knowledge against you by keeping you unaware of that knowledge. The Secret Covenant even hints at this, you guys. I can't remember the exact line, but it goes something to the effect of, we know the secrets of the absolute and therefore we rule over them. It's true, you guys. Information that's kept intentionally from the masses is occult information. And 99% of the time, the information that's kept from the masses is powerful, uplifting information. You see, they don't want us healed. They don't want us in a state of liberation. They don't want us rebuilding the bridge back to Christ consciousness, because then their whole facade, it ends. You see what I'm saying? Again, the Gnostics knew what was up. They knew that the material realm it's been hijacked. And all of and a huge reconditioning of the human consciousness has ensued. Our mind has been engineered to be our worst enemy. And that's why I promote radical self-honesty, you guys, and the 4 inner exercises. The thoughtlessness exercise, the full body relaxation exercise, the motionlessness exercise, and the inner temple. So that you can start to gain a lucid view or inventory of the way that your psychology works, so that you can analyze it and witness what conditioning has been installed into your mind, like Trojan horse weapon systems. Because it's only through conscious acknowledgement of our issues that we can go about healing them. Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? So I started off this video about brain fog. I've gone off in a million different directions, but it's all relative, you guys. It's all relative. I am going to wrap this one up. For me personally, I do best. And I can't say that years from now I'll be doing this. But for now, my body loves, absolutely loves, the venom shakes that I put in it, high-fat cuts of meat, like high-fat beef, right? Internal organs, right? I'll eat honey from time to time. I still eat spirulina, shilajit, excuse me. I take ginseng daily. I take a iodine daily, Lugol's iodine. That's another thing that can be directly linked to brain fog, you guys, is a lack of iodine. You see, the problem with brain fog is that it's difficult to locate the exact cause of the symptom, because there's a wide spectrum of nourishment deficiencies. So someone with brain fog, for instance, might have an iodine deficiency, whereas another person with brain fog might have a magnesium deficiency, right? So instead of just trying to target isolated minerals and vitamins, etc., it makes more sense to try to get the majority of that from your diet, right? But I do believe that iodine is something that most likely everybody should be taking daily. That there's a misinformation campaign that started in the early 1900s about iodine, you guys. I've got a video about that coming soon. I'm going off in a million directions. I want to try to keep this one under 30 minutes, you guys. If you've made it this far in this video, thank you for watching. Please check out the links in the description box. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I cannot tell you how much it helps circulate my content throughout YouTube. If everybody who watched these videos that enjoyed them or got benefit from them just hit the like button, my videos would probably reach hundreds, if not thousands of more people. So thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace be with you. Make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you're informed anytime I create or publish a new informative video. Peace be with you all.